Imagine walking into a room where everyone seems to know exactly where they belong, and you feel like a guest who forgot their invitation. You smile, you laugh, you participate, but somewhere beneath the surface, a quiet thought lingers. If I disappeared tomorrow, would anyone notice? That gnawing sense of being replaceable isn't just a fleeting insecurity, it's a deep emotional pattern that quietly shapes how you connect with the world. And here's the thing, it makes perfect psychological sense. It's not a flaw, and it's not something wrong with you. It's a story your mind learned to tell, often long before you even realized it. This feeling often roots itself in early experiences. Perhaps as a child, you learned that affection came only when you were performing or being careful not to upset anyone. Maybe praise arrived selectively, like a coin dropped into a wishing well. You had to do exactly the right thing to earn it. Psychologists call this conditional reinforcement, a subtle shaping of behavior where love feels dependent on your actions rather than your presence. Attachment theory adds another layer. When caregivers were emotionally inconsistent, sometimes warm, sometimes distant, you may have internalized the idea that your value is negotiable, contingent on keeping others happy. These early adaptations were clever and necessary. You became attuned, observant, sensitive to subtle cues. You learned to survive emotionally by reading the room before you even entered it. As an adult, this pattern doesn't disappear, it simply changes form. You might find yourself pausing before sharing your opinions, softening your boundaries, or apologizing too quickly, just in case someone might prefer someone else. You might scroll through social media and feel the quiet pinch of comparison, noticing who seems more desirable, more exciting, more present. It's like being a shadow in a room, watching yourself through the lens of replaceability. One metaphor that fits here is a delicate glass ornament, polished carefully, admired from a distance, but always worried about slipping from its perch. Another is a melody in a song that fades between louder instruments. You know it's beautiful, but you fear it might go unnoticed if it isn't amplified. The hidden cost of this constant self-surveillance is subtle but real. You may experience chronic self-doubt, quiet anxiety, or a hesitancy to fully express your wants and needs. Research shows that people who perceive themselves as easily replaceable often sacrifice personal authenticity in favor of maintaining connection, which paradoxically can increase feelings of loneliness. The energy that goes into staying acceptable for others leaves less room for fully inhabiting your own life, like a garden watered only at the edges while the center dries out. But here's an important truth. Your sensitivity to these dynamics is a form of intelligence. It is the mind's way of protecting you, keeping you alert to the subtleties of human interaction and honing empathy. Nothing is broken. Being attuned to relational patterns doesn't mean you are flawed, it means you've been skilled at navigating complexity from the start. Think of it as having a finely tuned instrument. You hear every note and every silence, and that is a rare gift. Gentle growth begins with awareness. Noticing the moments when you shrink or hold back without judgment is the first step. Recognize the stories your mind tells about replaceability and remind yourself that awareness doesn't require immediate action. It's simply witnessing. Another shift is learning to anchor yourself internally, validate your worth independently of external signals, like planting roots that nourish themselves regardless of passing weather. And sometimes simply naming the feeling aloud or journaling it allows it to move through you instead of quietly dictating your choices. Each of these steps is small, subtle, and deeply kind to yourself. By now, you might feel seen in a way that's both tender and exact. Feeling replaceable has shaped your life, yes, but it has also given you insight, empathy and emotional acuity. You were not a shadow fading between louder voices. You were a melody rich with resonance, capable of depth and connection. The moments of self-doubt do not define you. They are only chapters in a larger story of survival, sensitivity, and intelligence. Remember that your presence is valuable, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. And if this message reaches you even a little, consider it an invitation to honor your complexity, to witness your own worth, and to let the quiet strength inside you breathe.